Hello everybody, this is you. I'm back again with a new video on a video series of CSI and NJR Core Sciences. So in this video, I'm going to discuss about uh, numerical problems from oceanography, climatology, atmospheric sciences, planetary sciences, and all. So without wasting a time, let's start. So the first question of today's session is all about the satellites. So let's solve that firstly. Okay, question is, this is from C section. The orbital is period the orbital sorry the orbital period of geostationary satellite equals the rotation rate of earth. Okay, that is given 24 hours. Now at what altitude above the earth surface must the satellite be parked to achieve the orbital period, to achieve this 24 hours orbital period, we have to find the height of satellite. Okay, basically orbit ka height. Now options given over here is, we know it is close to 36,000 kilometers, but exactly how much it is. So one is your 36,000 kilometer, first option. Option B 35,881, C 35,400, and the D one is your 35,880. Sorry, it's a mistake from my side. 34,850. Okay, so we have to find, again go through the question. The orbital period of geostationary satellite equals to the rotation of earth, that is 24 hours. So we have to find at what altitude the satellite must be parked to achieve this orbital period. Now here let's build up a concept first. These artificial satellites, such as weather satellite orbiting the earth, obeys the orbital mechanics of planet. So we know that planet also rotates in 24 hours, right, on its own orbit. And here the revolution period of satellite around the planet is also the same, that is 24 hours. Okay, for a satellite in a near circular orbit, the pull by the earth's gravity is balanced by the centrifugal force. We know that the gravitational force is gmm by r square, and the centrifugal force we can write like this also. This centrifugal force, this is the another formula. Okay, now here the r is distance between the center of earth and the satellite, m is the mass of satellite, the capital M is the mass of the earth, small m is the mass of satellite, g is gravitational constant, that is given 6.67 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. Okay, so you know already. Now solving for the orbital time period, that is t orbit, we can write like this. T orbit is equal to, both are forces, so we can equate, and finally we get t orbit is equal to 2 pi r cube, r 3 by 2 actually, and under root gm. This is the formula. Okay, t orbit is equal to 2 pi into r ka power 3 by 2 by under root gm. Now we use this formula to find the answer of this question. So let's solve it. Solution. So in the given question, what we have, 24 hours we have, only given is 24 hours. So let's see. T orbit is given. T orbit is given 24 hours. That is 86,400 second. In one day we have this much of second. Z we have to find. Height. This is basically height. Okay. Now we can again rearrange the equation. We can rearrange this in like this. R equal to T orbit by 2 pi का power 2 by 3 into Zm का power 1 by 3. We can rearrange like this. Now let's put the values in the given formula. So when you put all the values, T orbit is 8640 seconds by 2 pi okay, का power 2 by 3 into z is acceleration due to gravity, and this acceleration due to gravity, you know, 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11. So just write it, 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11, and m is the mass of the earth, which is 5.9 into 10 to the power 24. Okay, ka whole 1 by 3 ka whole. See this formula, just putting the values. When you solve this, what you will get is 42,251 kilometers. This is the radius. Okay, this you will get. Now we subtract the radius of earth. Here it's very important to subtract the radius of earth, because this r is taken from the center of the earth. Okay, so we have to subtract from this, subtract earth radius, which is 6370 kilometers. Okay, now z is equal to r minus r naught. So r is 42,251 kilometers and r naught is a radius of earth, which is 6370 kilometers. When you subtract, you will get 35,881 kilometer. 35881 kilometer. Now let's see, B option is the correct. 35,881 kilometers. So now I hope it is easy to you. All you have to do is just see, there is no need to by heart this formula. You know gravitational force formula, you know this centrifugal force formula. Just equate them and then you can derive T orbit, R, anything. Okay, using this. So I hope this is clear to you. This is very easy. Okay, moving to the next question. Is this clear, right? This is clear to you, right? Now solving the next question over here. Question is again from part C, CSIR. Find the saturation vapor pressure for T equal to 21 degrees Celsius. Okay, 21 degrees Celsius. Options are, we have to find pressure, right? And the options are A, 2.52 kilopascals, B is 4.1 kilopascal, C is 1 kilopascal, and the D is 5.8 kilopascals. So now let's solve the question. First write what is given in the question. Given is T 21 degrees Celsius. So the first duty is just convert this into Kelvin. So when you convert it into a Kelvin, it becomes 294. Okay, then we have to find saturation vapor pressure. That means we have to find ES. ES we don't know in kilopascals. Okay, now there is a formula for ES. ES is equal to E naught exponential L by RV into 1 by, sorry, let's erase it, 1 by T naught minus 1 by T. Okay, so let's write here. E naught value is given where E naught equal to 0.611 kilo Pascal. Okay, this T naught is the constant, again it is 273 degree Kelvin. Okay, the base of Kelvin scale. RV is 461. Simply what we can do is, instead of writing all those things, just याद कर लो, L by RV value is 5423 Kelvin. Okay, this is the value for L by RV. See, this RV is nothing but a gas constant. This is your gas constant. Okay, and its value is 461. Okay, and this L over here, it's a latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat of vaporization, ये होता है latent heat of vaporization. And this one RV over here is nothing but a gas constant. Gas constant for water vapor. When you solve this, L क्या है 461. It's a value for sorry, what a second, one a second. The value of L is 2.5 into 10 to the power 6 joule per kg. This is latent heat of vaporization. Okay, for water vapor. This is L. RV value is 461 joule per Kelvin per kg. Okay, this is the RV. So when you divide this L by RV, you will get finally 5421 Kelvin. Okay, that's why I directly wrote over here direct 5423. So just by heart it, L by RV value is 5423 and T naught is 273 degree Kelvin. Okay, 273 T naught. Okay, now using this thing, just put the values. अब values को put करते हैं. So the now final saturation vapor pressure we have to find. It is equal to 0.611. What is this? देखो अभी हम लोगों ने देखा था. This is E naught. What E naught means? E naught is the initial. Okay. So initial saturation 0.611 into exponential 5423. It is the value of L by RV into 1 by T naught. T naught is 273 and this T is given, that is 21 degrees Celsius, and we convert this into Kelvin, so it becomes 294. Okay, देख लो. Let's see again. Can you see this? This over here and this over here, right? So now what we can do is, we can do like this: kilopascals. When you solve this, it will become 1.419. Okay, when you further solve it, you will get 2525 kilopascals. This is the answer. Okay, so it's very easy, right? It's really easy, damn easy. Okay, here it's 294, 273 minus 294. When you solve this, you will get the value. So okay, now next question. Let's solve the next question. So this question was a little bit difficult, okay, because you have to by heart lots of constant values, right? So now let's solve some other question and really easy questions. Okay, so देखते हैं, let's see. Okay, now the question is, again it is from C section. If wind rotates as solid body about the center of low pressure system and tangential velocity is 10 meter per second at radius 300 kilometers, then find relative vorticity. Okay, we have to find relative vorticity. So we have different types of vorticities. Absolute vorticity is a sum of planetary vorticity plus relative vorticity. Planetary vorticity is generated by planets. Relative vorticity is generated by any rotating object on the Earth's surface, and planetary vorticity is maximum as you move towards the equator and minimum towards the pole, while relative vorticity is more in the polar region than equatorial region. Okay, and the addition of these two is called your absolute vorticity. So now let's solve the question. So what is given over here? We have tangential velocity is given and radius is given, right? So let's write given tangential velocity m is 10 meter per second. It's a cyclonic. This much of speed is actually cyclonic. R is given, that is 300 kilometers. So in meters it becomes 3 lakhs meter. We have to find relative vorticity. So relative vorticity we have to find. So this is the symbol for relative vorticity. We can write also like this. We have to find this one. Okay, so this relative vorticity is actually formula is let's write the formula 2 into m by r. Okay, m is the velocity, tangential velocity, and r is the radius. So it's very easy. Now just put the values. 2 into 10 by r, how much? R 3 lakhs. When you solve this you will get इसको हम लोग ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं. We can write 20 by 3 into 10 to the power 5. Okay, so it finally becomes something like this: 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 5 per second. Okay, so relative vorticity of synoptic storms are typically about the order of this magnitude. So this is the answer. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. It's very easy. See, in the question it is given that if the wind rotates as a solid body about the center of low pressure system and the tangential velocity is 10 meter per second at radius of 300 kilometer, then find relative vorticity. Tangential velocity is given, this r is given, tangential velocity is given, relative vorticity formula is this one, 2 into m by r. So just solve it. Easy, very easy, right? Now moving to the next. Is this clear to you? I hope this is clear to you, right? Okay, now we have some other question. Okay, so before solving that, I want to solve one question from thunderstorm. Okay, from thunderstorm, let's see. So the question is, a thunderstorm approaching from the northwest creates a visible lightning stroke there is a 5 meter per second wind from the southwest blowing into the storm and the temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. This is southwest, 30 degrees Celsius. If you hear thunder 10 seconds after the lightning, how far was the stroke? We have to find how far was the stroke. Very easy question it is. All you need is formula. दिया हुआ है, a thunderstorm approaching the northwest creates a visible lightning stroke. There is a 5 meter per second wind from the southwest blowing into the storm. Temperature is given 30 degrees Celsius. If you hear the thunder 10 seconds later after the lightning, okay, how far the stroke was? So let's write the formula. Okay, now the formula for this is S equal to S naught T by T naught का power 1 by 2 plus m cos theta. Okay, now here this sound travels much more slower than the speed of light. We know that speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, while for sound it is 333 meter per second. That's it. The sound velocity s is relative to the ground, depend mostly on the absolute temperature, that is T, and the wind speed m. This is wind speed. It is given in the question. Absolute temperature we have to find from this 30 degree Celsius. Absolute temperature 30 plus 273 कर देंगे, you will get absolute temperature. And T naught is basically your this thing 293 Kelvin. 293, why we are writing 293? Because for the calm air the temperature is considered as 20 degrees Celsius. See here, and this is the angle. So लिखते हैं एक एक करके, where this phi is the angle between wind direction and wind propagation, which is not given over here, so we will just neglect it. Propagation, we'll neglect it. S naught is given 343.15 meter per second. This is the speed of sound. Sorry, it is 343.15 meter per second, which is at 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, this sound speed is at 20 degrees Celsius in a calm air. So 20 degrees Celsius can also be written as 293 Kelvin. Okay, it is equal to 20 degrees Celsius only, no? Okay, so at 20 degrees Celsius in a calm air, the speed of sound relative to ground is equal to S naught, and the value of S naught is 343. So now that's it. Solve करते हैं then. It's very easy. वी हैव टू फाइंड एस, राइट, एस फाइंड करना है. दिस इज 343.15 एस नॉट, 343.15 into t is what, our t is 30 plus 273. okay, so 30 plus 273 becomes 303, and this t naught is what, this is the speed of sound at calm air, normal temperature. So normal temperature of the calm air is around 293 Kelvin, t naught, it's 293 ka power 1 by 2. Angle is not given, so there is no need to write cos theta. Aim is what, here our aim is basically wind speed. So wind speed is how much, 5 meter per second. See, it is given 5 meter per second. This is our wind speed. Okay, so 5 meter per second. okay, and one more thing, see, एक चीज यहाँ एंगल है, वी कैन सी अ थंडरस्टॉर्म अप्रोचिंग फ्रॉम द नॉर्थ वेस्ट. सो नॉर्थ वेस्ट से अप्रोच कर रहा है. व्हाट इज योर नॉर्थ वेस्ट, देखो, दिस इज नॉर्थ, दिस इज साउथ, दिस इज वेस्ट, दिस इज ईस्ट. सो नॉर्थ वेस्ट इज लाइक दिस. ओके, दिस इज योर नॉर्थ वेस्ट. ये हो जाएगा इस साइड में नॉर्थ वेस्ट. एंड देखो एक चीज और, नॉर्थ वेस्ट क्रिएट्स अ विजिबल लाइटनिंग स्टॉक. देयर इज अ 5 मीटर पर सेकेंड विंड फ्रॉम साउथ वेस्ट, और साउथ वेस्ट से आ रहा है विंड. दिस इज योर साउथ वेस्ट, इट इज नॉर्थ वेस्ट. ओके, इज दिस क्लियर टू यू और नॉट? ब्लोइंग इन टू द स्टॉर्म एंड द टेम्परेचर इज 30 डिग्री सेल्सियस. सो व्हाट इज दिस फाई मीन्स, फाई का मतलब अभी देखें, फाई इज द एंगल बिटवीन द विंड डायरेक्शन एंड विंड प्रोपोगेशन. सो the wind direction and wind propagation is actually 180, it's not 90, because this is the stroke, right? Wind is from this side. So now we can write cos 180, cos 180, 180 degree. okay, when you solve this you will get the value something like this, 343.15. when you solve this, just by solving you will get, एक second, you will get 349 point minus 5. you can solve it. okay, you will get the same value. ठीक है, यहाँ प्लस है एक्चुअली, दिस इज योर प्लस. cos 180 का वैल्यू हो जाएगा -1, this becomes -1, so 5 becomes -5. that's why when you solve this much you will get 349, इतना का आएगा 349. okay, and this 5 cos 180 degree का वैल्यू becomes -5, -1 into 5 -5. when you solve this it becomes 344 meter per second. so this is the S. now we have to find how far was the stroke, right? so how far was the stroke, यानी distance find करना है. distance is equal to speed into time. so speed we have 344 meter per second, and see in the question 10 second is given, right? if the hear thunder after 10 seconds, see 10 seconds is given in the question, so we now multiply this with time. so this becomes 3440, or we can write 344 kilometers. so the correct answer is 344 kilometers away the stroke took place, thunder took place. is this clear? is this clear to you or not? this is difficult one. okay, so this is the question, this is the formula, and everything is easy. it's really easy, right? now solving, let's solve next question, one more question. okay, you want one more? Okay, so let's solve this. I think that's it. That's it. Okay, that's it, everybody. So hope you like the video. Please do like, comment, share and subscribe.